Hello, folks. Welcome to another round of Modern. We have Amulet Titan versus Amulet Titan. We have Chris Cherubini on Amulet Titan to the left versus Michael Mapson on the prettier version of Amulet Titan on the right. I say the prettier version because Mapson's basically entire deck is altered, and it is gorgeous, let me tell you. So, we're going to be seeing an interesting playlines. I mean, they both went Saga Amulet Go. That is basically the best start you could have turn one in game one as, you know, Amulet Titan. Now, this mirror is not the most fun to play. If you're an Amulet Titan player, you could probably agree. It's not very skill intensive usually, and it's just very, very interesting. So, Chris's turn consisted of playing a Civic Grove Chamber, untapping it, tapping it, picking it up, tapping and playing a Dryad Elysian Grove, getting an extra land drop, playing out Relic Progenitus. Ooh. Mapson is popping his Saga for a second Amulet here. Yeah, it's just a very, very weird mirror, folks. Like, it's so weird. Games 2 and 3 are just awkward, because you either, like, need to keep the faster hand or the more interactive hand. And sometimes the more interactive hand is the worst of the two. It's weird. You're like two ships passing the night. If, like, the cannons are pointed at the other person, but they're not exactly calibrated. You're not sure exactly what you're doing, but we're going to play Civic Grove Chamber to play tapped. We're going to make 4 mana off of it, because if you don't know, Amulet of Vigor, if you untap the permanent that entered tapped, you can then tap it for mana, and because it's a triggered ability, you can do it once per amulet. Right. Maps is going to have 2 mana in his pool right now. Probably leaving a green and a blue floating. Though if he floated a mana off the Saga, he actually could, it could be a green and 2 blue. But probably irrelevant. I see a Dryad Elysian Grove in his hand. I'll give him another land drop for turn. Using those beautiful Fiona Staples Dryads.
Dryad, no mana floating. Okay. Make 4 mana. Okay.
Oh, it's gonna play the bounce land.
Make 4 mana. Okay.
Gonna do it again.
Yeah.
We're gonna pick up Teleria West, transmute Teleria West. You know, maps that had extra land drops because of Explorer and Dryad's ability.
Yep. What's your favorite?
Going and getting a Summoner's Pack from the deck, going to then pack for a Primeval Titan. Probably asking Chris what his favorite season is, because he has 4 different Titans, because one for each season. Also, let's talk about that Summoner Pack. That Summoner's Pack was a Green Ranger summoning a Megazord, and it is so cool. I talked about, we had Mapson on for another video this week, and I talked about the stuff in the altars in his deck a little bit. He's got Tireless Trackers in the sideboard that are Boba Fett, and I'm super about it. But so that Titan's going to enter the battlefield. It's going to go get 2 lands from the deck. It's going to go get Slayer, Stronghold, Boros Garrison. This is like your typical Titan play, especially with Amulets on the board. What this does is you can tap or use red-white mana and then tap Slayer, Stronghold to give a target creature +2 haste and vigilance, or +2 haste and vigilance. So, because there's 2 amulets on the board, he'll be able to give it to either the Titan twice, or to both Dryad and Titan, which arguably could be the play.
So which one? Okay, just making sure you weren't giving the Dryad list.
I don't know if it does anything extra at this point, but yeah. And then you get a bounce trigger, so he's picking up the Slayer Stronghold, going to attack here, get an attack trigger, going to get 2 more lands, goes and gets Civic Grove Chamber and Boseiju, who endures, picking up the Boseiju for the attack trigger. Gives him interaction for the next turn for when Chris's Saga pops. That way if he plays a bounce land, he can just kill it in response to the trigger.
Yeah, so sorry. I kind of shortcutted a little bit there.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
But giving them both haste,
Yeah.
attacking with both, getting those off their attack rate.
That was the mighty shove of creatures attacking.
You're gonna kill my amulet. That's not very nice at all. And this is only the 14.
I love the little Christmas hat on the Titan. It's pretty great. I always forget that it's there, and then whenever I see Mapson's Titan deck, it's like, ah, yeah, he's got a little hat on. I don't think the other seasons are like as deliberately different.
No blocks? Sure. So good at 8.
Yep. Go.
Tap.
Yep.
Keep.
Yep.
Oh, I should have tapped the relic. So
Alright.
it's come back.
Chris is gonna draw for turn here.
8.
Unfortunately, in a spot where I don't know if he'll be able to come back from. The life totals are reversed. Chris is at 8. Mapson is at 20. Especially knowing that Mapson has a Procedure in hand. Goes and gets a second Amulet of Vigor. We've got a mana floating. Now, one thing, I talked to Chris about this too. So he taps the Saga for colorless. What you can do, it's important to remember it too, is that Dryad of the Elusive Grove gives all of your lands every basic land type. So he could have tapped it for a green in response, or to just instead of floating a colorless, which would have potentially mattered this turn based off of what happens here. He ends up needing a third green source at some point in the turn for things that he wants to do, so he has to do something else instead. But yeah, Dryad is broken. I was at an event this weekend too, and I heard someone because they like went to go concede the Blood Moon, but they or something. No, it wasn't Blood Moon. Something. There was a Dryad on the board, and he was like, "Oh, I died on my pack trigger." And it's like, "No, you don't. You got Dryad. You're good." Definitely would have been Blood Moon. If Blood Moon comes in second, then it doesn't. Then they're on mountains. But if Dryad comes in second,
I'll float a green. Yep. And then I'll bounce the forest back to my hand. Yep. Still have a land drop.
So as we saw, Chris went to go play his bounce land. Mapson then killed it in response. Activating the relic here. This game looks pretty solidly in Mapson's favor. Alright, making 4 mana there. He's going to Summoner's Pact.
I messed up again. Okay. Guess I'll just go get Titan. So I'll cast the Titan.
Yep. Gets a Primeval Titan here. I think, unfortunately, we're just spinning some wheels. But this is, I think, Chris's first time playing the deck. And he was either 3-0 or 2-1 at this point. I think it was 2-1. He did pretty solid.
Your graveyard is also exiled. Don't think that matters, but shouldn't.
You can't do that. That's not allowed. You know the rules. That's not allowed.
Unfortunately,
Whatever you just did, it's not allowed.
Chris is at a point where he's going to die to his pack trigger.
Yep, you can't do it. Can't do it. Not allowed. You know it. You know the rules.
I apologize.
Come on, man.
Please don't yell.
Because no combination of lands gets him
I'm gonna go call the DCI. Oh wait, look
enough
at me.
mana
I am the DCI.
onto the board to not die. So, effectively, what I talked to him about after the game was there was a line that he could have played Cultivator Colossus this turn.
I forgot that I had slaves.
Instead of spinning the Relic of Progenitus,
Picking up Warhammer stuff?
you save that mana, you tap the Saga for green, and then you pack for Cultivator, and vomit lands onto the board, and just hope it gets you there.
Amulet triggers.
It's not guaranteed to do anything, but Cultivator Colossus is a wild Magic the Gathering card when it resolves and works properly.
Play a map.
So, yeah. Looking at Chris's hand is super unfortunate because like Boros Garrison and Slayer Stronghold are in his hand.
I think I'm just dead anyway. Okay.
Because like if they weren't, you just play the Titan, go get Boros Garrison, Slayer Stronghold, attack, and it might be able to help you in the long run. But
I didn't have to pop the
yeah,
relic. I still had Boros
that's good.
Garrison.
That's gonna be the game. That's gonna be taking game 1. We'll be right back with game 2, folks, in just a second.
Be able to do that, but I don't think I had triple green, so I couldn't do that.
And we are back with Game 2, folks. We got Chris on the play going Forest into an Amulet of Vigor. That's a good start. Safe start. Mapson's got a Saga into an Amulet. Explosive start, a little dangerous. If Chris had Force of Vigor, maybe in a good spot. Better spot. There's 2 mana, 3 mana, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. I see Cavern of Souls. Doesn't really do much in this matchup, but it's a land. And, you know, that's what we need here. We need lands. Drawing return, Saga uptick. Valk of the Molten Pinnacle coming in tapped, untapping it, tapping it for a red, then dismembering the Dryad. Mapson will be taking 4 damage here. Dismember is a wild card. Let me tell you, I hated Dismember. The first, year of me playing Titan. I still don't love the card, but I don't hate it anymore. But good God. Alright, that's 4 mana. We're casting a Force of Vigor, killing Saga and Amulet of Vigor. Going to set Mapson back a couple turns here. Unfortunately, not really having an accelerant himself. But hey, it's okay. Got a land go. Another Saga. That's pretty good. Alright, there is another Amulet of Vigor. This is one of those things that, I think Chris kept the more interactive hand. And I don't know exactly how relevant it is. Granted, if he draws a Titan, he kills Mapson next turn. So, that's an option. He's not in too bad of a spot. Looks like his hand is just 3 bounce lands. I can't exactly tell, but we'll see. There's a Cavern of Souls, probably named Beast or Giant. Passes a turn, untap and draw. Alright, picks up an Azusa. So he has Tularia West, Azusa, bounce land, Beseju. One thing he could do actually is play the bounce land first. Make 4 mana here. Use 3 of it. Play Azusa. Picking up the bounce land. Play Tularia West. Trying to do math on how much mana. Play Tularia as his second land for turn. Make 2 blue off of it. Play bounce land. Make another 4. Pick up the Tularia West. Transmute the Tularia West. And I think he has enough mana then to get Titan, kill Mapson. 1, 2. It's either exactly 6 or he's 1 off. Now, of course, if Mapson has interaction in his hand, then it doesn't work, but... 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think he can do it. Chris is a slinky that he's playing with, and I respect that. Alright, Mapson picks up and plays a Amulet of Vigor. Chris then Bosejus the Amulet, getting reduced because Azusa is a legendary creature. So I don't know if you Boseju there. I think you save it for a bounce land, but that is okay. Alright, tax in for a 1 with Azusa. Right. Plays an Arboreal Grazer. Does not have a land to put into play, though.
I guess this works.
Chris also, I think, just drew an Arboreal Grazer. Makes 4 mana here.
4 green, white, untap it.
I'm actually going to respond to that trigger.
Okay.
I'm going to Beseju the Tularia West.
In response, Mapson is going to Beseju the Tularia West.
All trigger. Bounce.
Chris will get to search a land off the Besieger effect.
I'll bounce Cavern.
He does have to pick up a land though for the or for the Celestia, which he picks up the Cavern.
Oh,
I think. All right, there you go. I was like, that's him remembering that he has to search the land. It is not a miss thing on him. Your opponent, the person who's channeling the Besieger is supposed to remind you to search your deck, but this is just a weekly, so it's not an issue.
Okay. Oh, I love that altar. That's so sick.
Alright. Matson's going to play his own Azusa Lost but Seeking. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. Sure.
Alright, floats a green, plays a Civic Grove Chamber. Then plays Azusa Lost but Seeking. Altered to be Toph from Avatar The Last Airbender. Pretty sweet. Chris playing a Dryad Releasing Grove here, which immediately gets dismembered. Matthew goes down to 11. It turns out maybe Mapson had the more interactive hand. I think they've both used 3 pieces of interaction. Alright, there's a Castle Garebreak using Summoner's Pact. Pacting for that Winter Titan more than likely. Yes, indeed, going to go that get the Titan using Garebreak's activated ability to make 6 green mana. Can only use it on creatures or activated abilities of creatures. Alright, goes and gets a Vasuba. Probably is a copy of Civic Grove Chamber, that we can pick it back up.
It's gonna enter as a copy of Cynic Grove Chamber and bounce itself.
Chris is, as we refer, or as we say, in a bad spot. Especially if Mapson has Dryad in hand.
I'm gonna pay for packs to start off.
Seems like a good idea.
Chris, I think just drew past Mapson here, paying for Summoner's Pact.
And then they have those from time to time.
Has mana for Dryad. Draw for turn. I think I see another Summoner's Pact in his hand. Not many Magic cards with the green Power Ranger on it.
Okay.
Alright, Pact in here.
Yeah.
Goes against the Dryad of the Releasing Grove. With the Suba, probably again as a copy of Civic Grove Chamber, getting 2 Valka triggers here to do 6 damage.
Yeah.
Imagine just shooting Chris in the face, putting him to 14.
Okay.
Do it again.
Yeah.
He could have a copy Valk at this time. It could also just be the Civic Grove Chamber. That way he gets to pick it up. He does have 2, 3, 4 land drops this turn. So
Because you
Or
copied
no,
you copied
3, 6.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Sorry. I was
You're good.
right at first. I only played one.
And then
I think this time he's having a copy of the Valakut, so it's going to shoot him for 9. Chris is just going to scoop it up, and Mapson will take it 2-0 in the Amulet Titan mirror. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day, folks.
I wanted to play around Beseiju.
So I had Beseiju and Force of Vigor that turn where I Force of Vigor just your Amulet. I think I was supposed to Beseiju it, but I was afraid that you were going to use that to like, because you only had 2 mana at the time, so I thought you were going to use that to like, I don't know, play map or something.